Hey, what's going on? I'm Corey and I run a 5-figure AI automation business. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the 3 types of people that automation can't save. So, believe it or not, um, automation isn't a savior to everyone. There's this whole big perception that I can implement automation and it fixes everything. It increases my leads, it increases my customer, my happiness, just my life. And it's unfortunately just not the truth. So we're going to go through where automation falters in terms of the mentality of the business owner. And hopefully, if you are one of these 3 people, it hopefully shifts your perception and allows you to just change. So, like this one says, only you can do that. Unfortunately, AI isn't multiplier. So, if we have one task, AI can then do it maybe 3 times faster. Right? This use of AI, where a lot of people just think this is the whole equation. But what they don't understand is this applies to laziness, lazy. This applies to anything that it just your personality, the way you run the business. So you want to make sure everything's in check. And this is the same. Money is the exact same thing. It's a multiplier. So without further ado, this happy camper adding another automation, the hoarder. So a true story of probably last month, we had a client who just overbuilt everything. We logged into their Zapier account and they had 268 Zapiers, like zaps going off. And we went in there and I said, okay, so you want to do X, Y, Z? Yes, let's do that. Okay, is there anything we should know about? I can see there's a lot on this system. Are we all good? Like, you haven't built this before, pretty much. And they said, no, that's fine. Just go ahead. So we built it out, and when we triggered it, it triggered one of the nodes in there, actually triggered 2 or 3 of the other ones. And I said, okay, so you have got this already set up. And I know I haven't got it already set up. It may be an onflow of something else. So it just shows that once you hit a certain quantity, you just don't want to start just putting automation in there because you just forget what's happening. Unless you have a really strong operating procedures, you sort of forget. And oh yeah, I do have that one. Oh yeah, I actually do have that. So hoarding is only okay if you have sort of a process map. So, I know that this one may be for lead gen. Paint. So then when automators come in or when you go to do something else, you can say, oh, this is for system 1, system 3, system 5. And then we know, okay, so if my automation includes S1, then I'm going to hit this. So we don't want to do that. And this comes back to the amplifying effect, where if there's no structure like this, then you're just going to implement stuff. Another issue is they won't delegate. Sometimes automation isn't the answer. I may hurt quite a few feelings, but sometimes there needs to be a human touch to it. I briefly touched on this in one of my previous videos where we need to add vowels in a way. So there's certain stuff that will flow through and you sort of just want that pass. This is meant to be a valve that passes through the pipe, and you sort of want it to open up at certain points to let maybe this one through, but then maybe you want to block this one. The hoarder doesn't do that. They just put a system everywhere. That's it. Overbuild a system. We went through that in the example. They just build and build and build. And they're also obsessive control freaks. I find if you don't build it to the exact specification and possibly you deviate for some reason, rather than using a node in make.com or Zapier, perhaps it's easier to use a HTTP request and you're going in the back end, and they just don't like that. But often it's the only way. And also in automating everything, you also lose freedom. That's the way they think of it. And then, we delegate and or you die buried in a zap triggers. This is sort of the mentality of the hoarder people. We must put zap triggers in place. So there's number one. I haven't got ones. Hoarder. The best way to do this is if you are finding that you're implementing too much automations, what you want to do is you want to do a process map and you want to list out all the softwares that you have. And you want to say node A, node B, and then just map everything. So you can even just do a process map, jump on something like Whimsical, and just map out, this is our start. This might be like lead gen here. And then you just map out, we have this connected, we have this connected. Oh, this one's connected here. And once you have that, you have a clear picture of the systems. The second one is a trend chaser. Don't be Homer in this situation. So what the trend chaser does is they will see something on TikTok usually, hear it in the news, the Daily Mail or some mainstream media, and they will say, I need this. I 100% need this. And what they do is they just buy stack after stack. So they have a stack here, and then they have a stack here, and they have a stack here. And what they find, and I know this from experience because I've dealt with quite a few clients like this, is all of a sudden they need training. All of these need training. Maybe this one needs one person, and this one needs P1. But then P2, if these are core processes, when P1 goes, now we need to train then. So what you find is these guys need training. So P2 will need training. And then it doesn't happen until all of them are trained. And then it's just burying time. You're using a lot of time, using resources, using money. All of these are hard dollars that you're wasting. And there's no real tech strategy. So what we mean by tech strategy is that sort of goes back to the mind mapping of what do we want to achieve? What do we want to implement? If we're doing lead gen, obviously we want to minimize as much tech as we have. Do we need to implement? Is it a new software that we need to log into? Do we need new training? And you sort of need to strategize where you're putting this sort of stuff, because you need resources is the biggest one. My handwriting is terrible today on the mouse. Otherwise, you just become this, and you see a new thing, and you just attack, and you just want it. And an easier way to define this is chaos on autopilot. It really is, and it just implements without regard to the future. And you get to the future, and then that's when often you'll hire an automator and be like, I just need to fix this. And then it costs a lot more to actually reverse a lot of the issues. So new tools doesn't mean new results only. And if you have no standard operating procedure, which comes back to the strategy, you're going to have no ROI. It's that simple. The third and final person is the hands-off operator. This guy who just wants a nap. He's not having an app. These are referring to business owners who think that they can just magically fix everything. So I have a new offer, and if I offer it to a client, it's good. I might get 10 sales. But imagine if I put AI in it. Imagine if I introduce an AI agent or an AI phone caller. Then I'll get 20, right? Because it moves at twice the speed. Maybe I'll get 30 because it moves even quicker. And that's not the case. It's not a direct line like this. So this is like a human touch here, and then AI is here. A number of leads are here. That's not how it works. Often AI can't fix everything. AI really amplifies, like we went through at the beginning. So if you have broken offers and no leads, the hands-off operator thinks we can AI the solution. AI, I know it's AI. Very rarely the case. So for lack of maybe regards to nicer words. Garbage in is garbage automated. If you have a very crappy flow and you sort of in your funnel, let's put a funnel like this. In your funnel, if all you're doing is just chucking poo poo crap in here, all it's going to do is it's going to spit 2 times crap out. So that simple. If the hands-off operator, what they need is they need to fix the back end first. So usually your automations, you want to make sure that you are implementing them into a system that currently works. So if you have a lead generation system or a funnel that's working and you're getting the right people, or possibly you get like an 80% rate of people that you want, you may want to increase it to 85. This is where you sort of add the automation in. So AI won't fix a dead funnel. It will just amplify and give you extra poop coming through. So what AI works for clean ops, clear offers, and strategy-led founders. And this is where you see the huge success stories right there. This guy introduced AI and now he's making $2 million a month. These people are the people that had clean ops. Their offers were clear. Their strategy was there. The tech stack was there. They knew the exact path they were going. But it's always portrayed in the media as, oh, he just put AI in and it fixed everything. And that's very rarely the case. You sort of need to build it right and then automate everything. And when you do that, you have a nice picture of this is you right here. And this is your AI companion. Obviously, it's AI because you're the robot. And on a final note, I just want to finish up, which I think rounds off everything really nicely. When I got into this business, there was a lot of people just selling, and there still is. They just sell AI because it's cool. So a new tool will come out. It happened with the phone callers. It happened with programs like Replit and Bubble, and people started selling SaaS dashboards. And the problem you have is the AI space then just becomes a productized system, right? So people just they pretty much, a new product comes in, we sell it. They try to sell it because it's cool. They're approaching the businesses and business owners from your point of view. That people are coming in and saying, hey, you need this product. It's cool. The question usually that should be asked is, okay, what does it do? What should it do for my business? How's it going to increase everything? And this is the sad part with this aspect. So in the space, people, they try to sell it because it's cool, but they're not selling it because it's needed. And we can replace the word sell and we can put implement in here. Implement. Put in play. So you don't need to implement AI because it's cool. You implement it because it's needed. This was a quote that really changed my perception in it, because I thought, hey, AI is the next cool thing. We need to put this in. And then we started calling people and I've started talking to people. I was like, what do you think of this? This is really cool, right? You want it? And then they brought off to be like, but why? I don't want it. Like I have, it works, what's working. And it wasn't until I shifted the mindset and it was a, hey, I think this could actually help. Like it's new, but I've seen it work and I think this will increase your leads. So if we implement this, we win, you win, everything. And it sounds easy and obvious in hindsight, but really it falters a lot of people. They will see the new technology and they'll say, oh yeah, they'll see maybe this new product, this new robot, and they're processed like this, and it's okay, and it's great. So what they'll do is they'll make a gap, and they'll say, you go right there. And then all of a sudden, this might be a 10K revenue that they have. Now all of a sudden they're at 6K because of this gap. And this robot possibly did nothing. This AI, this new implementation did nothing for the system. And all it did is just cause a gap and it broke the revenue. So what I'm trying to get at is you sort of need to pick and choose. Everything's going to come out, and there's new stuff coming out weekly. You sort of want to pick if it's going into this gap right here, will it turn my margins? Will I be able to reduce the time spent here and increase my margins to 15? And that's really the whole crux of everything in this. So hope that clarifies a lot of the mindset around it. We tried adding a little bit of humor into it to sort of drum it home. But if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow.